Well, this new year is already off to a very strange start. Normally, every New Year's begins with something called the Tournament of Roses Parade here in America, especially here in California, in Pasadena, California. They have the Rose Parade, right? The big floats, and they're all made of flowers and all that stuff. And they broadcast it every year on television, and those who are went to bed early enough or who are clear-headed enough in the morning have always enjoyed it on TV. So a lot of people go out and enjoy it on the streets here in Southern California. I've never done that. It's too cold. I'm always up late. There's no parking, all that stuff. But I'm used to seeing it on TV, or at least the repeats of it on TV the next morning. And today it's not happening. The Rose Parade isn't happening. And the reason is it's happening tomorrow, January 2nd. Why? Because today, January 1st, New Year's, is a Sunday. And they have this strange rule, never on a Sunday. It goes all the way back to church related, but it's not a religious observance thing. It was because all the old churches lining the parade route would have people's horses hitched outside. So as the parade passed by, the horses would get freaked out. Their owners were inside of the churches and couldn't handle them. And they thought, you know what, we'll skip that problem by never having the Rose Parade on a Sunday. And so for 100 plus years or whatever, those handful of times that New Year's falls on a Sunday, they just haven't had the Rose Parade. I never knew that. I never knew that was a thing, but I'm definitely feeling in sync with that atmosphere, I might not take off the sweatpants today. I might just keep those bad boys on and just sit around the couch. It was a very strange New Year for us. We sort of were quietly at home, just a couple friends over, and that was it. Just sort of hung out and talked. We had a crazy busy holiday season. In fact, all of 2022 was super weird because we did not start the year like normal. We started the year imminently looking at Allie's surgery. She had a life or death surgery, an operation, and there was a lot of recovery time. And then when she was sort of recovered and I was kind of back out there, kind of getting back to work and stuff like that, and she had another surgery. And yet somehow we managed to do several meetups this year. We managed to do conventions. We managed to do a cross-country road trip, a whole series of adventure. If you somehow missed that, we went to the East Coast and we were able to see the fall leaves and go to New England and do some Randomland adventures in states we've never been to before, and even I've never been to before. And I actually now only have 3 states left: North Dakota, Montana, and Alaska. I got 3 states left until I've been in all 50, which is pretty trippy. Today is this year is going to be a crazy year because this year is a lot of anniversaries for me, weird ones. And I've got a big birthday coming up this year. Randomland turns 10 this year. There's all kinds of crazy stuff like that going on. And it's a strange sort of getting back to normal thing over here. But the main reason I'm coming to you today, very lo-fi, just with the phone and you and me, is simply that I've been sitting here going over the past year in my head, and I normally have time sort of at the end of the year, and I kind of recap. Sometimes I'm able to edit some kind of a thing together of like highlights of the year, of adventures, and this year was so full of highlights, also so full of lowlights. To be perfectly frank with you, and I'll talk about this in a sometimes vlog or something like that, I was really struggling with staying motivated, staying positive, not getting depressed, and that's because we went through all the surgeries and all the things, and then the recovery, and it was a lot of stopping and starting, and I'm like one of those people who likes to pick up momentum. I'm a live to work person. I like to work and I like to get momentum and get excited and get out there and get adventures and get going on this and have this creative idea and that creative idea. And there's a lot of stopping and starting this year. And there was a lot of financial difficulties. There was obviously the medical stuff. I had my heart issue and there was all kinds of tests and stuff. There's still bills coming in from that. So it was just a frustrating year, if anything. I felt a comparison is the thief of joy. You should never compare your life to anybody else's. That is the way to misery. But it was hard seeing sort of the world go back to normal a little bit in 2022 and everybody kind of picking up steam and going back to normal, getting back in their routine. And I felt like I was stopping and starting and stopping and starting. It was just really frustrating. And of course, there was so many highlights, though, like I said, with her having her surgery and being so much better now and healing. And then we were able to still have so many crazy adventures and be able to get so much done. We started the Randomland Conversation Show. The full-length version, of course, is on Patreon, where there's also sort of a week daily vlog over there for the Adventurers Club tier. And then we have the podcast that we're finally picked back up steam. And then over on my old channel, which was youtube.com/livefastdiepoor, I resurrected, because I missed doing it, the Sometimes vlog, which is my sort of walk and talk, unedited, very shaky, usually a cell phone, walk around, hang out with friends, random, very off the cuff sort of vlog. not the episodes of a show like Randomland, more constructed and all that kind of stuff. This is just totally random stuff. And I didn't do it for a long time there, and part of that was Allie getting sick. Part of that was we were just, there were so many problems that we were having. There's a lot of reasons, but I missed it. I missed the connection with all of you guys, the crazy adventure. So that came back over on the other thing, and it's just sort of picking up steam at the end of the year, and sort of racing towards the end of the year with all these different projects going on. I didn't have my normal time to sort of pause and reflect. So that's kind of happening today. So it's sort of my never on a Sunday, I'll start New Year tomorrow. Today's almost like New Year's Eve for me. I'm sitting around thinking, what happened this year? It was just one thing after another, one crazy highlight and one crazy low light, high, low, one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, one step back. Just a weird, I don't know if you feel the same way. I'm sure that really goes for every year, but this year felt particularly just, let's get going. Let's get going on all these things. So the main reason I'm with you in the lo-fi sense, I'm here just to talk to you, is just to thank you guys for being a part of 2022, for sticking around, whether that's supporting on Patreon or buying some sick merch from the store, or your kind words when Allie was sick, or the comments, or just sharing the videos, or just watching them, just being with me on all those adventures in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, and exploring and doing all those things. The whole point of this crazy continuing mission is that little escape from the normal everyday stresses of life, a little bit of edutainment sometimes, a little bit of wacky adventure sometimes, just to break the monotony, to always keep it positive, focus on the things we like, not the things we hate. It's never been a critical channel. It's always been, about something more, and trying to just a little time to elevate and de-stress and all those kinds of things. And I appreciate so much. I can't tell you, those of you who have understood that from the beginning, those of you who've been around for a long time or even a short time, who've jumped on board, who kind of understand and are kindred spirits with the sort of mission statement and the sort of ideals behind the whole thing. And we just could not have survived this wrecking ball of a year without all of you. And so from the bottom of my heart, from my whole family to all of you, I want to thank you, each and every single one of you, for just being a part of it, for sharing the videos, for leaving your comments, for just being friends. And we can't wait for 2023 to really get going, and especially as we get into spring and summer and things thaw out. There's so many plans and things I want to do. I'm making lists. I'm checking them twice. I'm getting ready for all this crazy stuff. And of course, the Sometimes vlog will be back. We'll be kicking that off probably starting tomorrow and moving along with Randomland adventures aplenty. This is also a year of big anniversaries. I got a big birthday coming up that I'm not really looking forward to. Not a fun one. But there's all these other weird anniversaries. It's the 20th anniversary when I started my band a long time ago. About the 10th anniversary of it breaking up. So do we do a show? How do you celebrate that? Randomland turns 10 this year. Like Randomland itself, which is really trippy. And I wasn't even really thinking about that until this last week. Like, whoa, we should be celebrating this. So there's going to be all kinds of changes. We'll have changes in the Facebook group. We'll have changes at the every kind of level. We're going to have changes. With changes at the antique store. We're going to have so many changes coming up. And a lot of them will be able to be seen over at randomland.com. You don't see much there other than the store, but that's all changing. There's a lot of stuff that we really wanted to work on for the last couple of years, and they're just stymied by either the pandemic and all that crazy nonsense, or the coming back to life and stopping and starting, or the Allie surgery. So there's so many plans. I feel like there's years of plans sort of bottled up, and I can't wait to see what we're able to accomplish and not accomplish. I'm sure there will be hurdles. I'm sure there'll be tough times. But that's the fun part about the other channel and the vlog coming back, is that I'll be able to share all that with you guys. And maybe it was Allie being sick and not wanting to share really her thing, because she kept that under wraps for so long until it was like, hey, we got to have these crazy surgeries, and just to let everybody know and all that stuff. Ironically, weirdly, once that all came out, she felt better and I felt better. It's like, oh, I feel better. People understand. Like, we've had the whole crazy illness to deal with all through that 2021 year and 2022. Pretty wild, pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, I'm babbling on, and all of this is in these long podcasts. We've had several 3 and 4 hour long podcasts over on Patreon, and all kinds of stuff where we've explained it. The Sometimes vlog is coming back, so there'll be lots of time to chat this year. There'll be lots of time to hang out, and there's going to be a lot of crazy adventures. I can't wait to get started. So we're still here, recovering from 2022, and I think Ali's eating some rice in the other room. I've been watching samurai movies. This is samurai movie season for me, where I dive into this collection of bootleg samurai movies that I have. They're all subtitled. You know, some are great quality, some are like bad VHS transfers. I don't know why, but every year right after Christmas, I'm like, I need to do something just totally not holiday themed. There's so many holidays, like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm like, I'm sick of holidays. I gotta just go to feudal Japan and watch some samurai movies. And if you've never watched a samurai movie in your life, I suggest starting with this movie called Yojimbo. Very good movie. And if you like it a lot, try Seven Samurai. One of the greatest films of, for my money, one of the greatest films ever made. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I hope you're enjoying your happy day off. I expect to see a lot more of you this year, and I can't wait. So thank you all very much for being a part of it. We sincerely and truly could not have survived this year without all of your kind words and just your kindness and generosity and everything else. And I just cannot wait to try to repay that back tenfold with all the adventures and things we're going to do this year. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. So from me to you, from all of us to all of you, Happy New Year. I hope that this year is just better for everybody, smoother, better. I hope that you're able to accomplish some things that you've never been able to accomplish before. I hope you're able to you know, get your mojo back. If like me, you've been, the last couple of years have been turmoil. I hope that you're able to, that we're all able to get our mojo back and get out there and get fighting on the quest for positivity. You know, I always tell people, they misunderstand the whole quest for positivity thing. If you've never heard of it, it's a whole long thing. It's been through many videos in the old Sometimes vlog a lot. When I was going through the worst times in my life 10 years ago, and I went, I just don't like the person that I was, cynical, negative. I would love to be that person that walks into a room, is always positive, always optimistic, always telling everybody, you're crushing it, bro, you're killing it, you can do this. I just wasn't that person I wanted to be. And people get confused. They think, when I talk about quest for positivity, staying positive, let's look on the positive side, they think I must be this naturally bubbly, positive person. I'm not. I'm a very negative person sometimes, cynical. I get depressed. I really struggle with depression and anxiety. I always have my whole life since I was a kid, especially since like junior high age. You know, really bad, like chronic panic attacks and just horrible. And trying to be on that quest for positivity, trying to see the bright side, trying to count my blessings, trying to look at the things that are positive about a situation and try to, you know, not focus so much on the negative. Just these little things, these little building blocks. That quest is very important to me. I'm always on it. And every year I get to do this thing where I sort of mentally renew the quest. And I can't wait. I can't wait for this year and just trying to stick on that path, stay positive. And even though they're all basic, simple things, breathe, gratefulness, think of the 5 things you're grateful for. What are 5 things I can see? All these weird, subtle little lessons I've learned, almost tropes in a way. When I start to follow them, I really changed my life and made me, I think, a lot more of a positive person, a much more positive person. It does eventually start to sink down and change your attitude and change your mentality and help give you a way to work through being depressed or anxiety or whatever. And I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of the quest for positivity and being such kind, wonderful people. And really, like I said, kindred spirits, fellow sufferers on the path of quest for positivity, and not just giving into cynicism and snark and negativity, but just finding positive things about life, about this world. We only get one life. And I spent so many years in a punk rock band and being negative and feeling depressed about my life and my situation. And I think I almost wasted sort of a decade of my life in a way, not looking around me enough and going, wow, isn't this incredible that we're here? Isn't this incredible that we get to be here and that we get this crazy life? And yes, like 2022, there are so many low moments for me. Really frustrating. Some that I'm still living through, like the medical bills and all that kind of stuff. And I could focus on that, go, gosh, what a disaster, all this stuff. Then you really start to think and go, no, quest for positivity, try to change my mindset and look back, like, what were all the blessings and all the wonderful things that happened? There must have been good things. I think in the high moments, like when she got out of surgery and she was okay, when we, you know, I made it to the East, I made it to my uncle's house who has cancer on that cross-country road trip. And yes, the van broke down. I had just bought, and it cost thousands of dollars to fix. I had to fly home and fly back to go get it. But it worked, and it got me then all the way home. We went to new states we've never been to. So there's always like positive, negative, you know. and focusing on the positive, it's like, yeah, that gets me really pumped up for the next year. Not so much like, oh, that year was terrible. This year's going to be awesome. It's every year's a mixed bag, but just that hope that, like, you know what? Let me take the positive things from last year and let's add to that. Let's build on that. Let's go bigger, bolder, better, and always look forward on the quest for positivity. Sounds corny, sounds cheesy. Maybe it is corny and cheesy, but from my experience, it really works. So thank you once again for bearing with me and hearing me out with with my little quest for positivity reminiscences there. But I really do mean it when I say, when I'm out there on trips, whether it's on some trip or whether we're in Knott's Berry Farm burning a branding iron into a wall, I am always thinking about you guys and how much I appreciate you. And looking back and thinking of the quest for positivity, one of the things that almost immediately puts me in so much of a better mood and gives me like a lot of motivation for doing better, being a better person, trying harder, going out tomorrow, making it happen, is thinking about all of you guys. And so you mean a lot more to me than I could possibly ever relate through a camera. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. And so I just want to wish you all the best for New Year's. I've said that 5 times now. I don't know what else I can say. I'm just going to start repeating myself and babbling and gushing, or I'll start to get emotional. So let's not do that. Let's start 2023 off just kind of chill and kind of cool. But I didn't want to let New Year's Day completely pass by, at least here in California. I guess in other places it already has passed by, without wishing you all a very happy New Year. From Allie, from me, from London, from the cats, from all the crazy characters in Randomland. Yes, even that wacky rat. We'll be back. But for now, you've done your duty. You can go home. Sleep well.